kill us just cause they fear us. Fear our minds, fear our minds. They keep trying to kill us just cause they fear us. Fear our minds, fear our minds. They keep trying to kill us just cause they fear us. Fear our minds, fear our minds. Come on down to these learning streets. Come learn with me. Come on down and you will see. Knowledge is power and wisdom is key. Unlearn and relearn what you need. You might hear me sing. Don't be confused, we have strong minds. Come on down and spend some time. Come learn tonight. Open discussions, we will speak. Can you hear me? Come respond to me. They keep trying to kill us just cause they fear us. Fear our minds, fear our minds. They keep trying to kill us just cause they fear us. Fear our minds, fear our minds.
I'm going to allow him to introduce himself.
All right, thank you for calling me esteemed, first of all. My name is 3D, the Hood King. I am from Detroit, Michigan, from the West Side, Dexter Avenue to be exact. Born and raised. I am in the music industry, music producer, writer, singer, arranger, engineer, everything music. Also, I've been involved in the city for a long time as far as the community, as far as outreach programs, as far as building, teaching, learning as well. My mother, Sandra Simmons, rest her soul, was very influential in a lot of the things that's going on in this city positively for us and our people. And I've been intricate in a lot of those things. So I'm happy to be here, happy to share whatever knowledge I have and to kick it with y'all. What up, though?
Gratitude, gratitude, and we are grateful that he is here with us. Tonight's subject matter is, again, the manipulation of the melanated mind. For the record, before we go into this conversation, those who don't want your children to hear this, that's why we have the parental advisory sitting up there, because it may get a little deeper than you want them to go, or you may not want them to hear some of the things we may have to say. Okay, so sit back, relax, and definitely join us, participate, motivate, comment, like, share, as well as look up the 3D the Hook King on all major platforms.
Please do.
Okay. Ooh, so growing up, first of all, we did come up together. His mother raised me just as my mother helped to raise him.
Absolutely.
So we are family. I know his experiences and he definitely knows my experiences. So I'm going to say that me personally, my personal experience, I attended private school.
Me too.
Okay. And it's a different way of where they mold young minds. Okay. First of all, you don't see but one or two of us in there. Well, I didn't see but one or two. And the friends that I had were Filipino,
Right.
Asian.
What school was it?
Saint Scholastica.
Oh, Scholastica.
Benedictine.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this was my group of, people that I had to.
And this is the 80s?
Yeah, we're talking about the early 80s. Actually,
late 80s.
The late 70s into the late 80s, because I came out in 91.
Right. Okay.
So
you got me by 6.
Yeah, you were behind me quite a bit.
97.
Yes. Yeah. So it's two different experiences.
Kind of fused into the same. I went to a private school, but I went to Loyola. I was the first class of Loyola Academy.
Okay.
So it was all Black students. It was the difference, but we had all white teachers and staff, but one person. So the dynamic was it was weird and different as well. It was a lot of mind manipulation.
See what I'm saying? The same type of thing.
Yeah.
And I think that our parents thought that they were doing us a favor by putting us in there.
They did.
Know what I'm saying? Although in my experience, it was a disservice for me. Well, it was a service, a good thing, because I was given that experience of being around all them different types of individuals and nationalities and personalities. That was the greatest part about it.
True.
But what I didn't care for was how I had to be a certain way. I didn't care for going into the church every Wednesday and having to kneel and being taught in this Catholic.
This manner. See, now this is where I'm going to chime in right quick. I had the same problem. Okay. I went to private middle school first. I went to Cornerstone. So I grew up on Dexter. I went from going to McCullough Elementary in the hood to Halley Middle School. My mom took me out of there and sent me to Cornerstone. I don't know why. Another Catholic school, and we're supposed to be Baptist, whatever, which confused the crap out of me. Then I had to go from there to an all-boys Catholic school, which just blew my mind. Okay. So when it comes to like understanding what the hell was going on, I didn't. Not when it came to why. Like, why am I here at all? And then by my mom being so Afrocentric and being so pro-Black and so us, I was lost in the sauce. It was like, I just don't get it. So I do understand being confused. Getting to Loyola, it was different because a few more brothers were being implemented into the staff to kind of like understand us, because the Catholic old folk didn't understand us. So, the teachings and stuff were cool in terms of learning, but church, every 5 seconds. And then the mass, I couldn't rock with the mass. We couldn't be us. The way they made us dress, it was just weird. Where it threw off my education. Like, it was hard for me to, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get it. It was weird. But I ended up going to public school though. Okay, so did I. Now, you were saying that it threw you off. I found it hard to transition from, all day I'm in Catholic school and I'm doing these Catholic practices, and school, first of all, is based off of religious doctrine. So it was that, and then, leave church, go to church to go to Bible study or, in the Baptist format. So Absolutely. It was leaving go to Catholic during the day, and then at night Baptist. We Baptist.
It
was
so
confusing.
Much confusion. So when I say the minister, the teachers, nobody cared for me because I always asked, why are we doing it like this? And why are they doing it like I was I couldn't handle it.
All right, let me give you a quick story about Liberty Temple Baptist Church. Quick story.
Okay.
This is a quick breakdown of where I felt like the manipulation of my mind began. Originally, just to be honest, let's just get to all the crap and just get to it. Okay. Like the original understanding of me being manipulated started in my own household. Whether people like to admit it or whether they knew better or not. Because what a lot of people like to do is they don't like to.
Oh my goodness, my apologies.
Hold on. We're having a technical
difficulty.
Okay, there we go. What a lot of people don't like to pay attention to is the fact that a lot of our issues come from within. And whether it's on purpose or not, our own parents begin the mind manipulation. And it started in that time for me because, yes, my mom was an awesome mom. And I had a dope father too. Like, my mom was very educated, very intelligent woman. But the my way or the highway thing is mind manipulation. The being whooped and getting wrecked for making a mistake is mind manipulation. So it began in my house. I didn't realize it until later. Church. And I'm skipping through a lot of stuff. Church. Okay, I went to church. I'm like 7. And you know how they used to have us in all of the different Sunday school classes by age. So look, we in Sunday school and I click and Mama Reed, my baby, I never forget. Now she was my second teacher. Okay, my first teacher was Linda Harris. And I said, Miss Harris, all right, you said Adam, you said Eve, and then where Cain and Abel come from and where the rest of the people come from? Because I'm lost. You feel me? And did who daddy after this? Because I don't get it. Imagine I'm 7.
Right.
She like, ooh, okay, send me to your mama. I end up in the older kids class without ever getting the question answered. Okay. Same thing. Ms. Reed, I need to know who and where the rest of the people came from. Like, why don't nobody want to tell me this? Who? I don't get this story y'all telling me.
Right.
So, right, make a long story short, 3 classes later, I end up in the sanctuary in the morning with the adults. I'm like 8, 7. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, Reverend Thompson up there doing this thing. Yo, Reverend Thompson, my grandma Willie Mae, she thick. You feel me? Trying to get me to shut up. Nah. Reverend Thompson, where the rest of the people come from? You feel me? He never answered me. So after that, I was already hip. Like, okay, they just trying to get us to believe some stuff to be scared. And that's really, really where I felt the manipulation of my mind began. It was home and church. And that's how I developed what they deem as a rebellious or black sheep or weird way of thinking is what they call you exploring the other side of this information that they shoveling down our face. Right. So it really started in my household and then in school, because we used to get beat in school too. Remember that. And then in church. That's where it began with me.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree because, like I said, again, that confusion from if I don't do it the Catholic way while I'm in school, they pulling out this paddle. And now I'm standing there with my hands red on my ass red.
We got paddled in public school.
Yeah.
In McCullough Elementary School, we got paddled. Every teacher had one too, a different shape and size. Every teacher. So that's where, and then I used to be so confused, like, Mama, you letting these white folks beat me for stuff I ain't even do. Then one day she came up to the school like Superwoman. Like, I was like, dude, this is so confusing to me, man. You know, but a lot of our parents was just doing what they knew. Blah, 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 because it's so cliche. But to me, it's cliche BS. Because we were held accountable for each and everything we've ever done. What we said, what we didn't do, what we did do. But I never felt like my parents or elders gave me that I'm gonna be responsible for what I did. I never got that from them.
What was I told? Do as I say, not as I do. That's
I never rock with that.
And I never cared for it either. I was like, no, I'm gonna need you to do what you're saying. That way I'll know how to do what I should be doing.
Right, exactly. But I was so confused to, am I even supposed to be doing what you're telling me to do? Because I think individuality of little black kids start earlier.
It does.
And it's like either you're going to realize it about yourself at an early age or not until later. I think we were kind of a couple of kids that realized early, like, this is who I am. This is what I believe. This is what I think. And you ain't changing it. Because you've always been the same for the most part.
Okay, now, on what you just said, I know that we were born with this mentality because, like you say, we've been this way since, we've always been this way. We've never changed up. Now, other children, though, that I've seen or come up with or look back at now, and I'm looking at them like, wow, y'all just drank the sauce and just kept going with, you know, chose to just say, okay, well, I'm not going to ask questions. Of which that's what
we were taught.
Ministers told me when I questioned. You don't ask questions. There's a reason why you're not supposed to know any of that. Look, I want to know the reason. Why can I know where were them other people at? Who did Cain and Abel procreate with? And where did they, why does the Bible say that there was a Lilith before there was a Eve? You know what I'm saying? Just simple questions. And I got kicked out of the church. Like I
got kicked out of classes and all that stuff because you're revealing some things that they don't want to, okay, basically but the manipulation of the melanated mind was literally intertwined with the manipulation of minds, period.
Yeah.
See, we got caught in the back end of it simply because we the ones that rose up out the manipulation either way. They enslaved us physically and mentally, and we still multiplied and became stronger. The difference is we got to go back to Rome. And that's where everybody don't. Another thing about religion, people seek truths through religion instead of history.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy because history is something that's recorded everywhere. So if something happened in, let's say, China in back in the day in BC, if it happened and people from Africa that were there, it's going to be documented like it's in history. Things that they talk about in religion, you can't find historically. So like if you talk about Rome, the manipulation of people began with them because they said, get down or lay down. And this is what it is. And that was black people, white people, Chinese people. They didn't care who you were. And that's the same. Rome is the same people that run this today. But what people don't understand is they began with that because they figured this out. After the Vikings stopped Rome in Germania, after the Vikings stopped them and they couldn't move forward anymore, they said, damn, we got to figure out a way to keep this power. And they said, let's get them here. And they were genius. And they started the religion stuff. And then that's where the manipulation began years ago. And black people were there too. They wanted to manipulate anybody. I want to do one more fact right quick. Okay. Roman Catholics. I'm gonna just put that out there. Like
2 words are actually don't.
They gang. They, like the kids say, they gang, and they try to separate those two entities in history, but it's impossible.
Right.
They were in cahoots.
Exactly.
So the manipulation started a long time ago.
Well before even any of us even came into
existence. Any of us. Our people fell for it though.
That part. That part. So from where we're at now though.
Reincarnation.
Okay. Yeah. So what can we do to curve some of it?
All of it sounds so cliche to say. It just sucks because we've been hearing generations of people who've been trying to say the same things for years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you do even fix your mouth to say what you're about to say, you're going to say, damn, I heard Jesse say this. I heard Rosa say this. I heard Martin say this. I heard my mama say, like, it's the same thing. The one word that we just can't get, unity. That's it. It's just hard to do.
My thing is quality over quantity.
Facts.
So if I can unify those of us that are steadfast in our patterns, our path. We know what steps we need to order for our success.
Mm-hmm.
If I can align with those few, that's more than, first of all, me doing it alone or you doing it alone or someone else doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Now we're doing this together.
Absolutely.
But it's quality. People that really mean it. Because I done dealt with and worked with some folk that didn't mean any good to the children, the
Me too.
youth, or
Facts.
even our community.
Facts. I have too.
But wanted to be a part of.
But that was them using their talents for manipulation. Just like we all the whole thing is like we took the practice of them people and we do it to each other.
There it is. So
we got to stop playing each other to the left. That's the only way this is going to become different. The people that's manipulating others, they're smart. You know, we are all smart. We're survivors. We understand how to make something happen. But like you said, if it's negative manipulation, it's, you know,
what good is it going to do us? It's going to take us in reverse back to where we already are. And now we're back doing the same thing again to each other.
But even speaking on the past and saying where it comes from, that's all fine and dandy. But like they always say, it is what it is, and what's done can't be undone. The thing is, it's now, like you just said. That's all fine and dandy. But we the same people that can go spend the most money in the country, but everybody broke. We can go talk about Tom, Dick, and Harry, but you ain't got a pot or a window to throw it out of. Like, it's the same mentality, you know. But we do it to each other more so than anything, especially where we from.
Right.
In Detroit, it's all about you damn near a bum if you don't got 500,000. That's how they make it seem. Like, what? You feel me? Like, we from a place where we down people that's doing good.
Right.
You feel me? So it's just like the white folk and whoever else, the Jews or whoever else they want to blame, they not even the culprit no more.
We're doing it to ourselves at this point because the minds have
been manipulated. Yeah.
And are not just enslaved at this point.
Mm-hmm. And we're kryptonite. Me and you, you walk in the room and you got truth stamped on your forehead, or you walk in truth. Even if they love you, they just want what they want from you, but they're scared of you because you're a revealer. That's what my mom used to call me. You just a revealer. You walk in the room, and if you want some BS, I'm gonna reveal it. Like, hey, look, they scared of us, our own people. They scared of the truth, and that's what it is. That's why it's gonna be so hard to get people like-minded people in one room. It's too many entities pulling them away from the truth. So they can't even be who they are. When they express who they really are, they get down, shot at, and all that kind of stuff by their own wives, husbands, children.
Yeah.
So first we got to fortify our families. Our families are so just...
That's where it starts, in the home.
Facts.
Reese Learning Street is a homeschool. That's where we promote homeschooling, because what we need is not in the system.
No.
We got to give it to each other. Like, as you say, it's going to take those of us that's got kryptonite on us to give it to the youth below us.
We have to
fortify them so that when they come of age, now they're doing what we are. You know what I'm saying? You got to pass the baton.
The weird thing about the youth that's kind of throwing me off, you want to compliment them in one aspect, but then it's another aspect where you like, what's wrong with y'all? Now, the one thing where I love the youth of today, they not racist. They're not into that. I hate you because you white. I hate you because you Indian. They not into it. They don't care what they mama say, what they daddy say. They not into it. And I love that fact.
And they're willing to speak up.
They're willing to talk about it. And I really love that about these new kids. But the thing is, it's like, even when they... Hold on, let me keep praising them for 1 second. Even when they do post it and they're vocal about what they don't like, then they ridiculed by their parents, like the older people. So now they feeling scared or pressured that they can't speak up or like they friend at school or whatever the case may be. But then again, the manipulation is not like when we were young, it had to be face to face. Like they had to have enough balls to just come to you and tell you some BS. Nah. They scrolling. Just everything they look at, they being manipulated. Yeah. Funny thing, like all that Meg Thee Stallion, she manipulated all these girls to be a hot girl and have a hot girl summer and be promiscuous and forget it, do it to everybody. Now this girl, this heifer done got shot. All her business is in the street, and now you want to claim you embarrassed because you done ran through half of the professional community. And that's what you telling our young black girls to go out here and follow you to do. The white girls too, whatever color girl. But that's who you influencing. You want to know where it's at? There you go. Like, we get the power to be able to, and I ain't saying everybody got to be all preachy. Everybody don't got to be all praise Lord and none of that. What about just positive? Out of all the P's, y'all talking about pushing P, why don't y'all push some positivity?
Right.
You feel me? Whatever you doing, be positive about it. That's all I'm saying. And they just don't get it because even they rich, right? Yeah. They literally rich. I thought that was the goal. And y'all still got this poor mentality. Like, it's manipulation.
Right. That's right.
The money don't even change it.
No, because once they get the money is gone as quickly as they've gotten it. Because they've not been given the proper tools mentally to be able to handle themselves. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or to invest and put it back into themselves. I'm finna go get this car or this badass bag. And
it's crazy.
I'm finna be fly. Whatever the terminology is.
It's still the same. Just different shit.
The point is the mind manipulation has them thinking that I gotta be balling and I got to show it and flash it. I'm gonna go broke, showing folk that don't care nothing about me all this money.
It's sad to say, I think it's beyond where it started with us, like, in terms of this is a different phenol of manipulation that these kids going through. Our parents went through an old Negro spiritual manipulation. We went through, oh shit, this the new era of people. We got to control their manipulation. And our babies is just going through, what the hell is this manipulation? Like, so it's 3 different types and levels of it throughout the generations, but it's the same. But the difference is the babies of today got it the worst. They don't stand a chance, even with good parents at home and training and all that, because the parents, real quick, the people that's our age, that's from, let's say, 40 to 50, a lot of them brothers and sisters in high school didn't have shit. They wasn't able to buy shoes and go to the malls and go to the trips and go to Taste Fest and all that. But a lot of us did because we had hustle in us, so we had some people around us that showed us how to get to it. So we experienced a lot more things at a younger age. We were able to spend money and make it. A lot of these brothers and sisters are just now getting out their mama's houses at 30 and 35 and 40, working at the plant for the first time, wearing $2,000 outfits to go work a 12-hour shift, and this nigga 46. Like, you got to understand, a lot of these brothers, they just didn't have it. And now they have the internet to show, look, I finally got it. But the ignorance is the women that's their age from 40 to 50, they doing twerk videos with their daughters. Yeah. So where do we need outside sources for manipulation when you can see your dad or your uncle 47 holding up some money like this, just like your 16-year-old cousin? So now it's the internet. It's the I want to be cool too. So
the internet ain't going nowhere. The TikToks ain't going nowhere.
No, they not.
All these the phones ain't going nowhere. They gonna automatically log in and be like, hey, start scrolling it.
Yeah, but you got to think now. It's like we different. Like me, I barely. If it's not about a buck, I don't even pick this thing up. I get cussed out every day for not answering messages. You have to have my number and call me to be important to me. This weird stuff nowadays, I get random people like, who are you? You see what I'm saying? So, like, we not phone, even though we need them, we don't hold them all day. Right. Man, I see people tripping up the street, running into shit because they looking at their phone. My nephew washing the dishes with his phone in his hand and washing the dishes with one hand. Like, but they looking across the room and they daddy doing the same thing. They grandma got their phone, the baby got the tablet, the baby the youngest, she working better than everybody. Like, this is man.
As soon as the babies are born, they putting the phone in the baby's hand to occupy the baby's time.
Why don't you teach the baby how to? Hey, did you realize that half these kids don't know how to write?
Yes.
They don't know how to write.
Yes, that is a major issue.
I'm talking about with a pen and a paper or a pencil. They literally don't know how to write. I'm like, what? You can't write, baby?
See, because all they do is on the even at school, It's all on the computer now. All
Man.
is everything, which is why my son only can write in hand cursive writing. He has to, because how else is he going to learn how to write his name or sign his signature? Because as you say, these kids don't know mind manipulation. They have not been given the tools necessary.
They're so lazy.
And nobody's enforcing the tools necessary.
Whatever. Then the laziness of just the manipulation of you don't have to work hard. DoorDash and Grubhub and
you like do a little bit of work.
Listen, they not doing jack nothing, but they just made a stack in a week. So what is they mama gonna tell them when you still slaving back and forth at whatever job you working, and this little Negro 17 just made $1,000 in 4 days?
Right.
He ain't trying to hear nothing you talking about, Auntie. I'm just keeping it 100. And then we got kids that's 16 to 17. They know how to do scams. They know how to work all the computers. They know how to do everything now. They smart. They don't understand. They can open up businesses with this knowledge that they got. But it's hard to even teach a child nowadays when they got so many accesses and outlets to money and ways to make it legally and illegally. They're brilliant.
Right. So
it's like, yeah, talking about how do we stop this manipulation is kind of woo. This is wow.
We have to pull them all out of the system and just start from scratch.
Man, what we gonna do?
You can't do that. Not at this point. Not yet. You know what I'm saying? Unless you have a child and from birth, just isolate and keep the system out or keep everybody else out. It's not manipulation. And even still, once they get of age, they still gonna experience everything else. So now they looking at it like, well, I want to do what they doing, and I want.
These kids are so weird, man. All they want to do is be depressed and sit in their room. And man, I've never seen a generation of children like this. This is unbelievable. Like literally, if you like trying to get a young man to express himself today is like it's like talking to a brick wall. Like y'all said we were bad. These little boys, I don't know. I just don't know. Nothing motivates me. None of them, like even they laziness and they upkeep. They don't even want to comb their hair. That's why they grow it, because they don't want to comb it. Like it's just so they lazy, they entitled, they sad. All my friends are dead. They listening to crazy music. The anime. Watch that anime stuff too. That's some of the most depressing stuff I ever seen. I had to start looking at it to see, like, why do every kid that I know with this old attitude, they all watch anime? Then I started looking at that stuff too. I'm like, look at the stuff that they just pushing. This is bad. It's really, now we done talked about it. I'm just sitting here like, oh shit. Like
manipulation is everywhere. It's everywhere in everything.
This is in everything. Sure.
Video games, anime, like you said, you know what I'm saying? TikToks, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, it's everywhere.
All day. For free.
Yes. And they'll get upset if they don't have access to it.
Oh no, you seen the little boy shot his mama because she took his phone and like, dude, you just murdered your mama, bro. Over Metro. Like, yeah, and they own that too. These kids own that. Like, I'm gonna kill you, mom. Like, and what? Bro, get out of here.
That's us, okay? That's us.
Dog, you going to boarding school or something, bro?
That's us.
Yeah, this
generation here, though,
you let the computer raise your kid. That's what you probably gonna get.
Right. That's pretty much what it is. Okay, so let's not get off track.
I'm sorry.
We were speaking about, we both came up out of the private school system and the confusion from private in the elementary to church. Yeah. So high school.
Yeah.
That transition, how did that area go for you?
I did 2 years, a year and a half private and the rest in Northwestern. So High school and private school for Loyola was a little different because, like I said, we had a black dean of students. We had more black teachers. We were a little older. We could understand a few things. And he kind of turned it into more like a mentoring thing versus dealing. We had to do the Catholic crap, but he still made it more like for us at times, which was confusing too. He had to push an Afrocentric agenda in a Catholic school. Like, it was wild. So I told my dad, like, yo, I want to go to public school. He sent me to Northwestern. And that's when I experienced, the real rap raw, what every kid need from the inner city, I believe. And that's when I got the truth about a lot of stuff and understanding, even manipulation between students and different stuff. Like, it was different.
I agree.
It was different.
I did the same thing. I did my freshman year at Benedictine and begged my mother, I'm done with this Catholic stuff. Went to Henry Ford for my sophomore year, and then junior and senior year was at Cooley.
You went to the fashion show. That's Henry Ford.
Yeah, and I couldn't handle that. That wasn't my that just wasn't my area. I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't fit in at all with none of what was going on in there.
Peace. I'm just looking at all of the.
Oh yes, we got some people in there watching us.
Peace.
Gratitude and thank you for joining us. Like I was saying, that transition for me was crazy because I went from Catholic to Henry Ford, to where you had to be dressed
popular and all that. Dress fresh.
You had to be, what was it, preppy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You had to be fly, or they was gonna
roast you.
I mean, I tell you from rooter to tutor. I was like, oh no, this ain't for me because I'm too, Afrocentric, and, you know what I'm saying, militant for this. I can send me over there to the hood. So you know what I'm saying? I ended up at Cooley. Then I was more so in my zone. Yeah. Put on my, dashiki, and now I'm going to school and ain't nobody saying nothing to me about what I look like or how.
In the hood.
They loved it.
Man, your business.
Mind yours, and I got mine. You feel what I'm saying? It was a good thing. That's where I learned a lot, though.
Mm-hmm. Real rap raw.
Real. Because that's when I started questioning more. When I got away from the Catholic tradition. And even my mother was like, you a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? You need to back up. Just like your grandmother told you to stop, put your hands down. She did the same thing to me. Like, quit asking Pastor Thompson all them damn questions. And I'm like, well, how I'm going to get answers?
Right, I want to understand. Yeah.
Just, again, though, more of that mind manipulation, even from the school to the church, to the family. Yeah. Everywhere we went was mind manipulation, no matter where we went.
I believe that teaching individuality is like where it starts, because the thing is, we were all just grouped up by what our parents been through, by what their parents been through, and they really didn't like go in the teaching booklets and change the way to show us and some of the rules based on the times. They were trying to teach us off 1960 rules and you know what I'm saying, 1985, and you can't do that. You have to grow with the system, grow with the world, grow with the changes, and then teach according. And that's what Black folk had a problem with. We all just want to stick to what happened back in the day. Maybe that's what kept us back. You feel me?
Because we did not adjust.
Yeah, we didn't adjust to nothing until us. And then they penalized us for speaking out. They whooped us, they hit us, they punished us for doing what they told us to do. Now, this was my crazy part. You can't do that in here to me, but don't let nobody else do that to you. Like, man, I was lost. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, because even right now, that statement still had, I still don't comprehend it.
I don't either.
You just lost me. You took me back to childhood.
That was done to me all the time. I never understood that. Because, like, how can you even, as a individual, build your understandings of where your bar gonna be? If I always got to give up my understanding for what you saying, when do I ever create my individuality?
Right.
So am I little you out here or me? And that's what I never understood with my mom. I didn't get that. I never understood. I love the way she taught me to be a king and be strong and be smart, but then she contradicted it by making me be weak to do what she wanted me to do.
by not allowing you to be you. I don't think it was that she did what she was taught to do, which was to, you know, you gonna act right or I'm gonna beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how they was brought up.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Well, tear that ass up, aspirin up. You feel us? So that's what she did, because that's what Ms. Walker did. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I caught a couple from Ms. Walker too. What you talking about?
You know what I'm saying?
Ms. Walker had fired on me a few times.
Just because we did not do as we were told. Do as I say, not as I do. Looking up like,
I don't get that.
I just did what you did though, and you go whoop my ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why am I getting in trouble for what you did?
Expeditiously too, right then, no matter where you at. Like, dang, to go upside my head. I'm talking about for real, never understood. That's why one thing I'm gonna tell you is this: as an adult, though, that I'm gonna be real. She knew, my mom in particular knew that I was the one who pulled her card. She had been knew that. The rest of my siblings fell in line. Everybody else just, yes, ma'am. They didn't care. I was very respectful, but I wasn't buying it. And it translated to our adult relationship. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Where everybody else was mama's baby, but I was too, but no, not really, because I piss her off, because I challenge. So, you know, that was a manipulatory thing too. Like, everything is just give or take. You know what I'm saying? And they did a lot of, you gonna give me what I want without giving us what we need. It's just the way it started at the crib.
You're right.
The melanated manipulation starts with our own people who put the melanin in us. It's so crazy.
All skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Yeah.
Although I will say that our parents only did from what they were given.
I still think that's an excuse. I ain't going for that. That's an old cliche ass excuse. And that's the same. They kept using that same excuse. That's why I was able to keep going for so long. That's why I was one of them, hell no. I wouldn't accept that for no excuse. Because my mom wouldn't accept that from me. We couldn't give no excuses for nothing. But they could give us all these Negro spiritual excuses. I ain't buying that. I'm not buying it.
I agree that it is an excuse. So
They dropped the ball.
If they drop the ball, that means we got to pick it up though, right?
Right. And but see, look, before you even pick up a ball, you got to know where the hell it's at, what it is, where it's coming from. And we had to figure that out first. And then we was lucky. We talking as two people who actually had parents who gave us some knowledge on our history, who we were, where we come from, what's going on. Yeah. We were lucky. Most of our peers didn't have that.
Right.
We speaking from actually some blessed perspective, because we had some folks around us that really
actually cared about what we knew.
Right.
And gave us more than.
Now think about some of our people we grew up with. They didn't have that. Most of them didn't. And we feeling this way with coming from that background. So imagine the people that don't. They don't feel no way. They don't even know that they should be feeling a way.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you got a point.
No knowledge of it.
So how do we get them the knowledge though?
The thing is, the other messed up part is black people don't do shit about shit until something happened to them.
True.
And even if you tell them about it ahead of time, if they're not being affected by it, they ain't gonna pay attention to it.
Right.
You got to bring them together and sit them down like, listen. And a lot of times that don't work. First of all, you got to get them up out of this for 2 minutes.
Back to the mechanics and all these little gadgets. Yeah, you're right.
Then you got to be right here to say, hey, what's your name? Because most people don't even. When the last time a man walked up to you and said, hey, sister, what's your name? They don't know how. What's your IG? You will get a what's your IG or something. Mm-hmm. They don't. You got to know how to talk.
Facebook page.
Man, this is ridiculous.
I'm just looking like, if I did, I'm not giving it to you, and even still, I'm still not gonna.
You don't even know. We don't even know how to communicate humanly anymore.
Right.
The majority of people that meet each other is on a dating website or on Facebook or like, where you meet her at on Facebook? But it's women walking around all day, and you would walk up to her and say your name, but you go, because I can listen. That's too much work. When I can go on her Facebook, and one thing, sisters, where the thing at? Sisters, I know stop putting everything about yourself on Facebook. Just stop, please. Because y'all don't understand that y'all just giving people like blueprints to your situation, to your life, to the understanding of you, to what you act like, to how you respond to things, and you're not even paying attention to it. Like you're giving yourself away. So keep your feelings to yourself. Okay, that was just a sidebar. All right.
I'm going to have to agree. I don't feel like anybody's personal life should be.
You're giving somebody too much research. They can research you and know how to attack you. So no relationship is organic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because first of all, you're meeting across the screen. You don't know if that's who you're meeting anyway.
Mm-hmm. But you would meet a person that they meet each other in person and say, what's your Facebook? And don't talk to each other in person and go look at each other's Facebooks and then talk. See, weirdos. Like, this is so weird.
Yeah. This is
so weird. And that's where it's just, what are we talking? This conversation that you titled this, say this to 30 people within our age bracket in 7 or 10 years. They're going to be like, within the 7 to 10 year range. They're going to be like, what is that? The manipulation of the melanated mind. Like, what? They wouldn't even
know what it means or what the conversation is about.
No. And you couldn't pay them to tune in to be taught because they think they know everything, or their cousin Bebe's sister cousin told them.
And they're going to go off of that as opposed to doing research.
They will live off of that. But they will Google where Future got his jacket from. Like, this is we're talking about manipulated minds. You can't manipulate a dead, brainless mind. They already brainless.
Right.
So this is bad. It's bad. This subject matter really just brings up the truth and how bad it is. Like, it's bad. It's bad.
Yes. Okay. So,
and pulling positivity out of this is going to be a doozy.
That was going to be my next comment. Like, okay, so we've been going for about almost an hour now, so we're going to try and wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
The Part next 2. Time, that's what I was just going to allude to, because it's gotten so deep that I want to do a part 2 for this.
We can.
And if we can just come with some more, knowledge and information to bring to the young people, like you said, ladies, stop putting your information. Hell, gentlemen, my gods, my kings.
Potential
gods, potential kings, as he says. Don't put your every movement on there, because we don't want to know your. If you with me, I don't want everybody to know where we at.
Mm-mm.
Not our every move, because now I'm looking at you like, why you updating everybody else on where we? When you gonna give me some? Stop.
Yeah.
If you out with your lady, put your phone down, flip it over, put it over there in the box, and just give her that attention.
Absolutely.
Do something different this time.
Absolutely.
And see if you get a different response, as opposed to, well, you got a nice Instagram page. His Facebook's fire. Just do something different. Stop putting all your business out there. Every time you get a new outfit, we don't need to see it.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
You just back up a little bit, and it'll get you a little bit more. It'll get you a lot more.
Absolutely.
My apologies. I'm going to let you take the last word for today.
Mm-hmm. I will say this: if I was to give anybody any advice as far as manipulating our melanin minds, I would say manipulate it positively. I just feel like we're too smart and too strong to keep repeating the same cycles over and over. Like, if it don't make sense, it don't make sense. So I'm really on that, just thinking, being smarter and being more careful of what we do with each other.
I appreciate that. I thank you for coming by
Facts,
and
no problem.
joining us tonight on Reed's Learning Street.
No problem.
It's so much appreciated, and we need that male perspective. The I can't do it without the male, just like the male can't do it without the female.
No, we all need each other.
We're here for each other. Thank you for joining us this evening. Have a great day.
Evening,
Day, whenever you catch this, even if you catch it on the replay.
facts.
Okay.